Hello, I'm Lynda and I'm going to tell you a story about the first Christmas that happened over 2,000 years ago. The story that you'll find in the Bible, the Christmas story from the Bible. You might have seen this book before. It's got lots and lots of pictures in it. Amazing stories all about Jesus and what he got up to. Right, here we are. So we're in a place called Bethlehem. And something amazing happened in Bethlehem in the first Christmas story. But I'm going to take you right back to the beginning. Once there was a king. And this was a very important king. And the king wanted to know how many people were living in his kingdom. So what he said, everybody had to go back to the place that they were born because they had to sign a special form. So there was a man called Joseph. And Joseph lived in Nazareth, but he'd been born in Bethlehem. So Joseph had to go all the way back to Bethlehem. And he took Mary with him on his journey. Now Mary, she'd been told by an angel that she was going to have a baby. And the baby was inside her tummy. And when the baby was born, they were to call him baby Jesus. So Mary and Joseph went along the very, very long road, the journey all the way to Bethlehem. And they walked and walked and walked. It took them a very long time. And Mary must have got very tired because she had this baby inside her tummy. Well, it was very late when they reached Bethlehem and they wanted to find somewhere to stay. But the problem was Bethlehem was really, really busy. There were people everywhere because so many people had been born in Bethlehem. So they'd gone back to sign this special form for the king. So Mary and Joseph were knocking on lots of doors of people that they knew and people that they didn't know. But everybody just kept saying, "Sorry, Mary and Joseph, we're full up. We haven't got a bed for you." But then what Mary and Joseph did find was somewhere to stay with the animals. Now this is like a house that you would have found in Bethlehem. And the people live one side and the animals live the other side. The animals were sort of in the house really because one, it kept them safe, but it also warmed up a bit of the house as well. So Mary and Joseph had to settle down in with the animals when they arrived in Bethlehem. Now let me see if I can find some animals for our story. Here we are, look, we've got a cow and we've got another donkey and we've got a sheep. And we've got some chickens that can be running around as well. There they go, look, running around chickens. There we are, 1, 2, 2 little chickens. And it was night time and Mary and Joseph settled down to sleep. And then that night, something amazing happened. Baby Jesus was born. Here he is. There he is. And he didn't have a bed. He could only sleep where the animals used to eat their food from. Oh, but Mary and Joseph must have been so happy to know that their little baby had been born and he was safe and well. Well, that night, up on the hills in Bethlehem, there were some shepherds. Here they are. Now, I'm sure you know what shepherds look after. What do shepherds look after? Sheep, that's right, here they are, look, some sheep all running around. Now it had been a very long day for these shepherds. They'd been so busy looking after their sheep and they were actually collecting them all together to settle down for the night because the stars were shining and it was night time and they were really, really tired. So there they were, look, they were just settling down to sleep after a really busy day and this shepherd was probably looking out to make sure everything was still safe for his sheep. Then suddenly, up in the sky, something amazing happened. There was an angel. Thought the shepherds, what's that? It was an angel. Well, they were a little bit scared. They'd never seen an angel in the sky before. But the angel said, "Don't be afraid. I bring you good news. If you go down to Bethlehem, to where the animals are, you will find a new baby. And this baby is going to be the king." Thought the shepherds, we could go and see a king. Yes, they had to go down to Bethlehem to see baby Jesus. But then suddenly, up in the sky, there were more and more and more angels, and they were all singing and praising God because the new baby King Jesus had been born. Well, the shepherds were so excited that they might have picked up a few sheep, but they ran down the road as fast as they could to where the animals were, and they ran in, and Mary might have gone, shh, the baby Jesus is asleep. Oh, but do you know, the shepherds spent some time with baby Jesus that night. They might have cuddled him, and they'd have chatted to Mary and Joseph about the exciting things like seeing angels in the sky, and Mary and Joseph saying that Jesus was going to be the king. Well, then the shepherds had to leave to go and look after their sheep again. But do you know, when they walked through the streets of Bethlehem, they were so happy, they were full of joy, and they couldn't stop talking about the new baby that they'd met. Anybody that they bumped into, they told about baby Jesus. They were so excited and so happy that they'd seen the baby that night. Wow. Well, a little while later, coming along the same road, there were some very important and wise men. Here they come. They didn't have donkeys. No, they were far too important for donkeys. They had camels. That's right. So here they are, look. Here are the wise men. Sometimes you call them the kings. There they go. And they were walking along the road to Bethlehem because they had been following a bright star. Because they knew if they followed the star, they would find the newborn king. They would find baby Jesus. And they'd been looking for this star for a very long time. And there it was. So they walked and walked and walked, and they too arrived at the stable. Gosh, wasn't it a busy stable? Here they are. There we go. And they came, and you know, they bought baby Jesus some very special presents. We all like presents, don't we? Well, they bought some gold, and they bought some frankincense, and they bought some myrrh. 3 very special presents. Some gold, some frankincense, and some myrrh. And these presents were presents that you would give to a king. Wow. Well, they stayed a little while as well, and they had a chat, and they might have cuddled baby Jesus as well. They had so much to talk about. They might have told Mary and Joseph how long that they'd been following the star and how long they'd been looking out for the star. And they went off in a different direction. They didn't go back the same way. They went away a different direction. I'm not quite sure where they went to. There they go. Off they go. Well, Mary and Joseph, they stayed in Bethlehem a little bit longer, and Jesus grew a little bit bigger. But then in a dream, Joseph was told by God not to go back to Nazareth where they live. They needed to stay safe. So they had to go off to Egypt. So Mary and Joseph packed up everything. They probably took all the presents as well that the kings had bought, the gold and the frankincense and the myrrh, and they wrapped baby Jesus up all nice and snugly, and then they went off to Egypt where they were safe. And that's where Jesus grew bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's the story of the first Christmas that ever happened over 2,000 years ago. The story that we find in the Bible. Right, let me put a few of these people back. So we've got Mary and Joseph, and we've got baby Jesus, and we have all of the lovely, lovely presents. I'm sure you like presents. There we go. The lovely, lovely presents. And we'll put the donkey back in the stable as well. And then we've got the wise men. There they go. The wise men are here too. There we are. And the kings, they must have walked a very long way. There we go. And we've got the shepherds over here. Now, I wonder, oh, the angels. Let's not forget the angels. Here they are, the angels. Should we put an angel up the tree? There, look at that. The angels, that's it. Now, I wonder, what part of the story did you like best? My favourite bit of the story is the angel. I love the message that the angel brought. The angel said, I've got good news and it's going to bring you a lot of joy. I liked the angel. I wonder what you said. Now, the kings, the wise men, they bought baby Jesus some really lovely special presents, didn't they? I wonder, if you could bring baby Jesus a present, what present would you bring baby Jesus? So I hope you enjoyed the story of the first Christmas that ever happened over 2,000 years ago. The story that we find in our Bible. You know, if you ever see a Bible, perhaps you've got one at school somewhere or at home, maybe you could see if you could find this story in the Bible. This is Lynda's story, look. We've got here we've got Mary and we've got the angels coming. And there we've got Mary and Joseph travelling all the way to Bethlehem. Do you remember that bit? And there they are, look, they're looking for somewhere to stay. And then they end up sleeping with the animals. And then we've got those shepherds that saw that angel up in the sky going, we've got good news for you. And then they are running down, they're so excited. I bet they never ever forget what they saw on that night. And then we have the kings, don't we, coming with all their presents. There we are. Let me see if I can find the kings as well. There's the kings, look, coming along. And there's Mary and Joseph, and they're heading off to a place called Egypt. Well, I hope you have a really special Christmas, and I look forward to telling you another story another day from Lynda's special book. Okay, happy Christmas.